Hello everybody and welcome. We are going to be doing 2 laps of the Nurburgring today. I am going to be doing them in this BMW M3 E30 I believe it is, Gr92, whatever that means. And we're going to be trying to get around here in first person for a change. I usually play third person, just because I feel like it gives me the best peripheral sort of awareness. But I decided to crack to this. Get a crack on this. I knew it was going to be tough adjusting, but no sense in putting it off any longer. Let's jump right in. And I'm kind of liking it, especially this car with its thin A-pillars. It's not very claustrophobic feeling whatsoever. So gonna get a good couple laps in here. One of the things I noticed about this car pretty early on is how phenomenal the grip is. Now, it's to be expected from a GT car, but this one looks obviously a little older than what else is out here. So whatever else is out here. So, it was kind of interesting driving because I feel like most of the grip comes from the tires, not so much the downforce, whereas the other GT cars I feel like they have a lot more downforce in some sections. I'll point them out when I get there, but you can see this car is just phenomenal. I mean, I can be relatively reckless and still not use all the road because I'm actually chickening out with how much grip it has. It was quite a blast to drive. Coming around here, you can usually run wide. You can see how far I was from even using that brick curb. General rule is if it's a brick curb, it's okay. If it's red and white, it's not okay. It's like slick as heck. And you can see there, I will go over red and whites to get to a brick curb. And then there on the exit, I hit a red and white curb on the right side, and it caused the back end to come out. Just like ice. I mean, watch out for that. So you'll see me going for brick quite a bit. A little bit of air there. That's always fun. Coming around here, I was super happy. The gears in this car are super short, the ratio, so when I shifted it into fourth, I wasn't sure if I was going to money shift or not. And damage is on this server, so I really didn't. It would have been bad, the consequences. So a little bit of excitement there. Hitting a little bit of rev limiter on the straight there. That's actually a huge testament to how short these gears really are. And that's probably where this car loses a bit of time, is in the straights, because in the corners it's absolutely phenomenal. It just sticks so much. You can see that car, even though I let him pass me pretty early on, he's not too far away. He'll get far away because of these straights showing up right now, but I kept up in the corners. This is a very fun section. Downhill, S-turns, very slight though. If you find a nice center line, you don't really have to turn too much. Using the hill, all the hill for your braking. Lots of brick curb on the inside there. I like to take it all. And it slows down nicely for this section. I like to run to the right here and then turn in after the thick, bold, white text. It's a good turn-in point. So run right and then turn in after the bold text. Gives you a nice exit out of here. And with this car, you can actually put the power down. There's so much darn grip. This section up here is pretty dangerous, and I get a little sloppy leading up to it, but luckily I fall back onto the line, kind of. A decent line, enough to keep me around this corner. It is very easy to run wide there. I've talked about it in my Corvette video, but it is also kind of forgiving. So we managed to recover very nicely and actually connect the next section with no problem. Nice little marker on my left there as a turn-in point, which is nice, and another marker on my right as an apex. I mean, I'm pretty sure that corner in real life is called like the death corner or something, because back in the day it was just, there's no barriers, it was just open canyon or something like that, cliff. Very dangerous, hazard section. So I believe that's probably why they have a marked turn-in and apex point there. Coming around that section right there, I didn't really know it very well, and I actually took quite a bit of curb there, and it caused the wheels to leave the ground. That's what that squeaking is. It's the suspension just working super hard. And it's a fun technical section right here. I really like the tight technical sections. That's one of the best sections in my opinion. Coming up to the end of the whole downhill beginning of the course and the beginning of a big uphill section. So this right-hander up here, you want to carry as much momentum as you can up this hill, which I kind of run a little wide from the apex, so I could have carried a lot more speed up there and got on the throttle sooner. But with this car, it's so light and the power is there. I mean, it's not the end of the world. If you're in a Toyota GT86, which is on the server for some reason, competing with all these other GT touring cars, I mean, if you mess that corner up, you end up losing, because it's still uphill, it's uphill for a while now, you end up losing like 10, 15, 20 seconds, just because it took you so long to get on the power. It's really a detrimental part of the track if you're in a low horsepower car, not so much in a heavy, high horsepower car. Right here, there's like 3 little curves, a thin one and 2 thick ones. If you hit that last one especially right and run wide, it sets you up beautifully for that flat-out left-hander. You can take that flat out in most cars, I've found. maybe I'm not driving all the right cars, but coming up here, you're still flat out till about that curb. Use the bricks on the outside as a turn-in point, and then there's more bricks as sort of like a safety runoff, so you know you're on the right track for speed and everything. More on the inside if you're going crazy fast. I'm not really. I'm just using it. There's a section right there. I believe I got off the gas there. I'll go back and check, but I got off the gas just a little bit because it's very easy for your car to go light over that crest and oversteer into the grass. Most cars will do it, but GT cars with the big wings, modern ones, don't tend to lift there at all. So this car definitely feels like a lot of the grip's coming from the tires. Finally, I get a decent entry in the carousel. It feels like I'm hitting that thing for 50-50 at this point, 1 for 1 or whatever. Not a great success ratio, but finally got a decent run through it. Here, I didn't make the same mistake I made in the Corvette video. I didn't really brake or anything. I think I might have just lifted to make sure the car settled down and I got back on the gas. Really fun section here. You're basically, because of the elevation changes, you just have to lift off the gas and downshift. You don't really have to engage the brakes at all until I got right there. And here I get a really good run through here. With all this grip, it was very confidence-inspiring. You'll see there's going to be some brick on my left. Use it all. Why not? It's there. More brick on the right. Hell, it gives you like the straightest entry you can get onto this little piece here. Breaking up quite a bit for this crest. You'll see, because of the grip, I stay on the inside, but there's a lot of brick on the outside for you to use. As long as you get back to the center of the road there, you're okay. And then you hit an apex, run wide, come back for a late apex right where the brick starts. Coincidence? Nuh-uh. Right here, you got lots of brick to run wide on. No big deal. Don't have to use it with all the grip I've got. Ferrari coming out of nowhere. Lovely. Finally, some traffic. And just like that, it's gone. That's basically the theme for the video when it comes to traffic, which was kind of nice for a change. You know, traffic's great, but I love, like, that's why I play online, right? To have interactions with people. But it's also nice to just set some good time sometimes. Just have a nice cruise. A little bit of air over that. That's a great shot. Coming around this corner right here, I think I'm keeping it in 4th. Which is probably a good choice, because over that last crest right before the brick curb, it's really easy to break loose. There's like a hump in the road. Coming around this section with putting down a lot of speed, honestly. It's got so much grip. With other cars, you have to be careful there. The undulations in the road can really cause you to lose control, like in the back end. Little orange barrier there is a great braking point right before the pavement changes to darker color. I only like to run halfway up the road, and that sets you up for a good turning point into here. You don't really have to downshift at all. You really don't want to run wide into that sand. It'll kill your time. And then around the mini carousel, which you can take a lot of the inside pavement on, the asphalt. It's up for grabs. Everybody's taking it. If everybody's doing it, that probably means it's okay. I think that's what I've been told in the past. Here we come up to the last corner. The final straight. Looking like a good time. It's probably going to be a sub 8 unless I crash right now. But there it is, through the Audi Sport R8 finish line. And it's a 744.325. Alright, that's not bad. Experimenting with the grip in the pits. I think I found the breaking point. I also took some lessons at Brian O'Connor's School of Driving, and they've been paying off, you know? Rest in peace, Paul Walker. But, show off! Pretty much. Anyway, jokes aside, I'm going to try J-turn up here, and it's going to give you a good idea of how much grip this car has in the tires. I mean, the whole front end does not want to come around, and it even says I was doing damage to the front right, like probably flat spotting it or something. We're not going to notice it over the course of the lap, obviously, but most cars, man, the front snaps around. I could have probably gone faster and really made it snap around, but I had those barriers there, and you can't go that fast. Like, lots of cars are capable of going in reverse up to crazy speeds, believe it or not, like 80 kilometers an hour. But yeah, if you do it too quick, you'll slam into those barriers. There's a sweet spot, and when I hit that sweet spot, which I'm pretty confident it felt good, the car just did not want to come around, which is probably due to the setup, I think. Let me know what you guys think. Driver error setup. A little bit more traffic, no big deal. They're gone. See you later, guys. Not the end of the world, though. I really felt like I could do a quicker lap now that I have a good baseline of 744. Finally put a good lap, or a lap down. It wasn't a bad lap, honestly. So I'm going to go again, and I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little bit. This is really back-to-back. There wasn't much time in between laps. A little bit of damage to the clutch there. The damage indicator came up. That was just the transmission, rather. That was just me coming out of gear without putting the clutch in. Missed. I got a little angsty. Through the S-turns, I'm using that curb this time. I told you. I'm going to be pushing a little bit more. Aiming to use that inside curb. I didn't really miss it, which isn't the end of I kind of missed it, which isn't the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I'm still going to be able to put the power down here. With so much grip in the rear, it doesn't matter. Coming up to the little hump where you can actually get some air, we are definitely going to, yeah, just the tiniest bit. Testament to how much downforce there is on this car. There is some, but most GT cars, though, they will stay planted there flat out. Flat out through this section too. Here we go again, going up to 6th gear. Downhill. Rev limiter. Good stuff. It's a lot of fun ringing out a car, to be honest. And you can see right there too, my back end gets a little out of shape. That's the hump I'm talking about when I say it's dangerous in all my other videos. A lot of people lose control there. They go wide because of the elevation change. They're under braking, and then it doesn't become enough because the ground's disappearing underneath the front tires, practically. So you can see my car was pretty gripped up there, but it did want to break loose a little. It's telling me mostly tire traction, a little bit of downforce, as opposed to like that Z4 that passed me, man. That thing is all downforce. It is so quick. You can go flat out over the hump where I get air, and you don't fly at all. You do that in like an R8 V10 Plus, you get airborne as heck. You can really lose it. Actually, my YouTube display picture is the R8 V10 Plus, I think, getting some air on that exact spot. Anyway, right here, I make the mistake I always talk about. Instead of being right and coming across and meeting that white text, I was inside, turn left, it caused me to run wide, and managed to keep it together, which I'm stoked about, clearly. I mean, I've said it 100 times in my life, probably, and all the takes I have to do to get this done. But basically, that's a really forgiving spot. If you tried your best to brake, literally, and it's just like a difference of like you missed your mark by a couple feet, you can bring it back. It's not the end of the world. Yes, you're going on a trip into the grass, but you can bring it back, which we've seen other drivers do. That red GTR, obviously, in the last video, the Corvette video. He brought it back. He might have hit the wall, but he brought it back. One of my favorite sections right there. So tight, and just the switchbacks are great, and then you get back on the throttle like that. The downhill braking point coming into it, so much fun. Right here, you get a bit of a kink to a right. The second you straighten up after that kink, you start braking down to like 3rd gear or whatever you have to do. Don't run too wide there, although there is a lot of brick. They don't want you to hit the wall there. There's a lot of brick to save your butt if you do run wide. And then into the uphill section. Back to that brick wall there, or that concrete wall. Sometimes you'll be coming up there and you won't want to use the brick at all, and you'll run a little wide and you'll be all up on the red and white just perfectly, like as luck would have it, and that can really cause you to spin. I've had that a few times, so try not to run wide there. You can, and you can use all that brick, and it can be quicker, but it's not really worth it at the end of the day. It's on such a long track. Here's the uphill section. There's the brick on the inside. I'll call it the 1st curb, 2nd curb, 3rd curb, run wide, stay wide. You can see I run back to the left for some reason, and almost, I'm grass bound. And I just take a second, let Jesus take the wheel, thank our old Father, and take the wheel right back for not letting me hit the barrier. That's good stuff. I don't think it cost me any time either. Luckily, we are able to keep our cool, which is a big deal, and pick back up on the line. I'm kind of swerving all over the place, really. But I'm generally doing what I should, keeping the right speed, hitting the right braking points. You can see here, try and keep a straight line down here because the curbs come back and forth. Run super wide to the left. Look to your right. There is a curb there that ends and straightens out. I was a little wide to the outside, but you can come back, turn in a little sooner, and just meet that curb as it's ending, essentially, and you can really get on the gas soon. Here's what I'm talking about. A little wide on the carousel, and I was screaming. Not literally, but I was upset with myself during the filming of that. Just because I could feel the time getting sapped away from my lap. It felt like 3 or 4 seconds the way I was just so much slower when I was a foot to the right. It's crazy. The car was really fighting me, trying to suck me out of the carousel. I did not enjoy it one bit. Did not want that to happen, so I fought it, and it cost me all the time. So I'm kind of hustling a little bit, trying to make up for the loss. But, yeah, no, there's nothing you can really do. This section's a lot of fun, and I hit it pretty well last time. I think I just need to stay on the exact same line. Absorb those brick curbs. And you can see the red and white is going to set you loose almost every time. A little bit more road being used here than the first time. Back to the middle of the road, hit that first apex hopefully. Run wide, come back for the second one right as it turns into the brick. And then there's a Corvette out of nowhere. And, well, that almost got ugly. I think I did everything I could. That's a pretty hazardous section to just slow down when you see someone come up on you like that. You have to really wait for a good moment. But it gets by without anybody dying, so, you know, at the end of the day, what can you do? We're both okay. Good stuff. I like to use all that curb on the right there, and that gives me a nice straight run up here where you want to sort of left off and forth just to make sure you don't run wide. Just down the track, back on the gas, and then brake sort of just after you hit the hump. If you slow that down, you can see I was in the air as the brakes came on. So, basically braking as I hit the ground. I think in faster cars, like the LaFerrari and stuff, you want to brake before the hump. And on slower cars, air quotes, slower cars, you can get away with braking after, if they have the brakes. Handling this back section very fine. There's the color, there's the orange barrier somewhere in between that and the pavement change you want to brake up. Just run to the middle, get back to the right, and then use all the road running to the right. Try and stay off that curb. That probably cost me a couple tenths of a second or so. And like I said, use all that inside asphalt. You're allowed. Why not? Everybody else does it. I probably exited a little early there, but you can get away with it. And it's looking like it's going to be very close, honestly. I believe that carousel might have been the deciding factor. That or going wide at the hazard section just after the, yeah, back there. I don't know the names. I should probably learn the names. Yeah, 0.3 of a second slower, just over. So, you know, sometimes if you have a little frustration with the ring and you want to vent a little bit, it's good to just money shift when you're, you know, maxing out your car. Just drop it into first gear, dump that clutch, and take all your frustration out on the engine, the transmission, and, you know, spill oil all over the track to ruin everybody else's day. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.